Yo, guys, what's up? And welcome back to the Marvelous Chats podcast. This is episode 183. Tonight on the cast is myself, Finto, and Alex, aka Wolf. We're going to be talking about Stranger Things. Welcome to Derry and other nerdy news. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, leave a like on the way out, and if you're watching us on a replay, leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think. Without further ado, here we go. Yo,
Hey,
what's up?
how's it going, man?
How are you, man?
Not too bad. Just like dealing with sleep issues, but like I'm doing pretty good so far. Just I don't know if you've ever had like trouble, like if you try to sleep early, but it's still kind of waking you up early. So
Yeah,
it's one of those moments. Ugh.
man, I'm kind of blessed and cursed in a way because I don't really have a problem sleeping at all. I never have. And because of that, I can kind of stay up till 2 a.m. gaming and then, sleep for 5 or 6 hours, get up and feel pretty good. My missus is always giving out to me, you're not sleeping enough, you're not sleeping enough. And, I can have 6 hours and I feel fine, like it doesn't bother me at all. And I could have 9 hours and I feel the exact same. So like,
Mhm.
for me, it's like I feel like I don't need all the sleep, but I know my body probably does need the sleep. I'm not arguing how important sleep is. I'm just saying, like, I could fall asleep on the floor behind me there. I could just lie down on the ground and fall asleep. Like I've never had a problem sleeping ever. So
Mhm.
my heart breaks when I hear about it because I think it's quite a common trend for like gamers and streamers and stuff like that. Like a lot of streamers and gamers and stuff that I talk to seems like they all don't really sleep. It's like seems like a bit of a common trend. So um
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
It's
know.
it's a
There's a
it's a
correlation
tough gig.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pretend to be a fucking psychologist or anything and know the reasons why, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's like all you can do is, I don't know, like
Try to sleep a
eat,
little better. It's
eat,
usually
eat
that,
eating
you know.
helps, that sort of thing. Like, putting like I've heard again, I don't have these problems, but screen time it can be really can really affect things. And obviously, if you're like me and you're on your computer or on your phone and then just go directly to bed, for some people they just can't go to sleep. So what I've heard is a lot of people will put the phone away maybe an hour before bed, switch the TV off, have no blue light or anything affecting them, and then it helps them sleep a little better. So that could be something you could maybe test out. I don't know. um I have
Yeah, I
awful
think
Go on.
I think some of the bigger things about it too is like your vitamin intake. I tend to sleep better if I have bananas like on a daily basis. I think I need more
Mhm.
potassium in my life. Some good taking a multivitamin helps, but nothing beats the actual main source of vitamin D, vitamin C. All the good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Just want to say hi to some people. Dan, what's up, dude? How are you? Appreciate you being here before the stream even started. Ellie, what's up? How are
Appreciate
you?
it.
Welcome in, guys. This is our first time doing a vertical stream as well, so we could be getting a whole new kind of base of people in watching. So welcome if you're new to the channel. We kind of sit down once a week. Maybe we miss maybe 1 week a month, but we kind of talk about the current stuff like Marvel, DC, Star Wars, all the nerdy stuff, bit of gaming, bit of horror, the whole shebang, pretty much everything.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, like kind of this week we haven't been live in a couple of weeks, and the reason is there hasn't really been anything new out. I'm watching Welcome to Derry. Alex isn't. So
I,
it's
I I'm caught up, dude. You told me to
oh,
watch
are
it. I
you?
watched it. Yeah,
Fuck
you
yeah,
told me to
man.
watch it.
Sorry. Okay, so we're all caught up, so we could talk about Derry. That's great. So
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. The last time we sat down, which was like 3 weeks ago, you weren't watching Derry. I was, and that was all that was kind of on. Like that was like the current thing. So it's good that we are both kind of caught up on that. We can talk about that. Obviously, Stranger
Mhm.
Things starts tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving for all you guys over in the US as well, which is a perfect day for Stranger Things to start, in my opinion. I'm gonna be like struggling to try and watch it because I gotta work. It's a normal day for me over here in Ireland, but I think that the I was looking up the run times. I think like the shortest episode is like an hour and 45. So it's gonna be tough for
Jesus.
yeah, it's
That's a
gonna be
lot.
tough for me to watch these like before I kind of do anything else. Um oh wow. Sorry, Dan says it starts in 2.5 hours. Holy shit.
Nice.
Yo, 6-7, let's go. um, Jesus, what have I done? What am I bringing into this channel? But yeah, sorry. So for me, I think it's gonna be a bit of a slower burn for me. I'm kind of glad for that we're only doing this podcast once a week because at least I'll be caught up by the time we sit down next and able to talk
Mhm.
about it. I know we were just talking before we went live there, and you were saying that you have only seen season one, which, in my opinion, I've seen the first four seasons. Obviously, season one is by far the best, in my opinion. Like, I don't think it gets any better than season one. Season two and three are much worse, but then I think by season four, it kind of goes back to the levels of season one, in my opinion. So, very much looking forward to seeing where it goes from here. I'm hoping that they continue on the pace and storytelling from season four into the final season.
Mm,
But, I thought season two was a bit of a sorry, season two was the worst season in my opinion, and then season three it starts to kind of come back, but then season four it ramps back into like peak, which is great. So I only rewatched season three um, before like the weekend there, so I'm ready to go with the new season. I'm fully warmed up and everything, so ready for it.
gotcha.
Yo, let's go, Elliot. Um, yeah. So tell me what you thought of season one? Like, 'cause like I didn't even know you'd seen season one, so we never even really spoke about Stranger Things at all. Have you only
Yeah,
watched it
because
recently?
yeah, I just watched recently. I know that you've been like talking about like the season 5 and how that's supposedly the last season of the series
Yes.
itself.
Hmm.
Um, so essentially, I didn't really make time to watch it at the beginning stages of like its seasons. Not because like I wasn't interested or anything, but because I totally forgot to watch it when it was out during the time. Um, when I started the first couple episodes, I was like, like I really wasn't feeling it. I thought it was just going to be a little more of like a tropey thing. You got the high school kids, the elementary kids, like it's basically the each stages and then into adulthood and whatnot, which is like, yeah, okay, this is pretty standard procedure, and it's also in an era that I was never really like tied to, so didn't really have too much of a rapport with it. And I would say it wasn't until there was the episode where things kind of showed up as like as not what they seem like entirely, and that people were getting played on, and that we were basically being like, the characters are basically being tricked into thinking that one of the characters is like been recovered but they're dead. I thought that was a really cool like spin on it. Like I like the twist, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna give it more of a shot. And over time, I really enjoyed the season. I thought it was really good. I think the pacing of the thrills like went through pretty well. I think the fact that they used the Demogorgon to kind of like showcase a lot of the stranger things that were going on
Oh,
was like, very very well done. Like I really enjoyed all that kind of stuff. I think all the characters were likable enough to kind of proceed forward and like kind of get everybody engaged, especially the audience. And so like I think David Harbour's character is like one of the top characters that plays in the show. Winona Ryder's character was kind of like, her being Joyce, it kind of felt more yelly.
yeah,
Kind of felt more like, she's just there to kind of like, where's my son kind of thing.
yeah,
Um, which, it worked out over time because like, David Harbour's character Hopper is like trying to calm her down and help her like understand, like, I totally am with you now. I believe you. Everything's, we're gonna figure this out. I just need you to calm the fuck down.
yeah.
um and the kids were interesting. Like they weren't interesting at the beginning, and then they started getting more interesting as time went on. Like it showed, the different aspects of each of the characters, how they interact with each other, their little their mannerisms, as being friends. And whenever they end up screwing up amongst each other, they know that like the way to fix is with a handshake, which I thought was pretty nice of them. Like it's a good way to say I'm sorry instead of just like just outwardly saying sorry. It's like, I'm going to shake your hand. We're going to be on good terms again. I thought that was pretty cool. Billy Bobby Brown's character with 11, I think she was all right. It's kind of hard to take in like a character like that and actively appreciate him because they don't talk as much. The only thing they could do is act, and there wasn't really much acting that she could do at this time. It's not until I think the start of season 2, which I'm barely starting to get into it, where you see her interact a little bit more. She's trying to be a little more outward about herself, and essentially like showing like, okay, so she does have a reason to be within this universe and wasn't just a tool to push the story forward.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, altogether, I think the first season did really well. The second season is kind of hitting the same way as the first season, where it was like not really much going on. I think that the the whole situation with Will and the polywog like seems to be an interesting take, because he brought something into the world that essentially was like not of this world. It was part of the Upside Down, and I think it works well. I just want to know like how this fleshes out a bit more. I want them to kind of go back to the arcade. I'm pretty sure they will, because I want to see the whole like Mad Max story thing unfold a bit better. So far, really not getting anything going on in terms
Mm.
of the story just yet. It's just more of the same, more of the high school kids being dickheads to each other, and
Yeah.
I think Nancy's flip flopping is bullshit. But
Oh, is this
like,
between Steve and Jonathan or something? Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, Steve
Yeah.
and Johnny, like essentially, like, Nancy kind of gets back with Steve at the end of the first season, which I thought was really weird, considering that you know she was helped by Jonathan a lot more. Jonathan had more of a belief on his side of things that were going on, and the only reason why Steve might have been able to get back into the good graces was because he sort of redeemed himself by keeping them from getting killed, getting the Demogorgon trapped for a moment so that they can at least set him on fire. Um,
Hmm.
which like that's cool. But like, does he deserve redemption? Like, not with her. I think
Yeah.
in terms of just his persona, like she should have left him alone afterwards, or at least
Yeah.
said like, I forgive you, but we can't get back together, kind of situation. The fact that she went back to him really shows that she didn't really develop or grow as a character. She just went back to what she was used to, which I think it was really weird, because like I mean, she was drawn so well to Johnny, and I'm not saying she has to love Johnny or anything. It's just, dude, like, don't pick the dude that's like clearly, yes, he made a mistake, but he's still got some shit that he needs to work out.
It's so funny hearing you talk about this, like from a fresh perspective, because like I had to actually look it up while you were talking. I watched these episodes in 2017, man. Like I was a different person back then when these aired. Like
Mhm.
I just like this is so long ago. It's crazy. Um, like the show was obviously like the kids are still meant to be in high school, and like now they're actually all adults and they're all like in the pub drinking when they're not shooting and everything. It's crazy. It's just I think it's hilarious to me that it's taken them this long to make the show. Um, obviously, each episode being over 2 hours long, and the finale I believe is over 3 hours long. It's gonna be like a fucking Lord of the Rings movie. So you know what I mean? Like we're in for a treat, but it's taken them like 9 years to make it. It's been
Mm.
pretty crazy. So for me, like listening to you talk about this stuff, like again, I haven't watched those episodes since they first aired. Like I've never rewatched the show. I didn't even rewatch season one in the build up to this. We just went back and rewatched season four as like a recap. Phenomenal. But I kind of wish I went back and watched season one now, because one, like I always do remember being so incredible. I just absolutely at the time came out in like 2016, just loved the 80s vibes and the synthesizers and the little kid actors just remind me of like ET in my childhood and shit. Like, and it was just great, man. I just like it
Mhm.
was so good and it was received so well. Like I'm just I remember just being so thankful that we had it because it was just so special at the time. And now obviously it's coming to an end, and I just hope they end it on a high. I hope they don't do a Game of Thrones season 8 on us, like, and just completely fuck it up. But I suppose time will tell. But again, if they just even continue on with the way they've been going from season 4, it's going to be phenomenal. Like phenomenal. Your man, I know you haven't seen any of it, so I won't like spoil any of it for you. But the dude who is Johnny Storm, your man Joseph Quinn, he shows up in season 4 as a character, and like he's just phenomenal, so good. And then like your one Sadie Sink shows up, I think, in season 3 as well. Like so, like there's probably characters you haven't even met yet who are pretty big characters now for the final. So yeah, I don't know. Like again, I'm not telling you what to do, but if I were you, I'd be trying to binge as much of it as you can to catch up to watch a lot of it live because it is going to be such an event. Like we've got the first half or volume one as they're calling it, I believe releases tomorrow. I think it's going to be all in chunks. Let me just get the dates to be 100% sure.
Mhm.
So yeah, chapter 1 season 5 is in a couple of hours. Then the 27th there's 2 more episodes. So or sorry, 3 more episodes. So you're going to have the first 4 releasing tomorrow, and then there's an episode releasing on Christmas Day, an episode on and 2 episodes on the 26th, and then the finale is on New Year's Day, and that's the big like 3.5 hour monster of an episode.
Gotcha.
So cool. I love this kind of idea to release it, like because again they're so long as well. Like if they released 8 episodes and it's like 25 hours of content or whatever it is altogether, like it's gonna be so hard for some people like us to be able to watch it all, to be able to talk about it here. So I kind of really like the way that it's like, there's 1 episode tonight, then there's another one tomorrow, or sorry, 3 more tomorrow. I don't know why they're doing it that way. I think they're probably releasing them all, but you're gonna watch the first one when it goes up live because it's the first time actually that I've ever seen Netflix do this. Like they're releasing it like a kind of live event, which is kind of strange. So like the um they have the go live time on like stamped like with my time zone. So it says like 1 a.m. GMT on the 27th is when it goes up. So like obviously Netflix are in preparation for people to be like jumping on the second it goes live to watch it, which like I haven't seen that sort of vibe since Game of Thrones. Like people over here used to stay up till 2 a.m. to watch the new episode of Game of Thrones, and then they'd be going to bed shattered, tired at fucking 3 a.m. to go on a Sunday night to go to work on Monday morning because they didn't want any spoilers. And I feel like this is that vibe, but we haven't had this in so long. And it's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see. Absolutely love it. Eddie was so dope. I hope he comes back. Well, yeah, look, he hasn't gone anywhere, has he? Who knows? Where'd he go? Alex hasn't seen it. Shut up. He doesn't even know who Eddie is yet, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah,
Yeah,
like
no worries.
I don't. Funnily enough, right? Because again, he's such a fan favorite, but they do a thing where they kind of insinuate that he dies, right? And I would not be surprised if he showed up in the last season because he was such a beloved character. Like they could easily kind of cop it out and say, well, actually, they could pull the whole like, did you see him dead? Like because you don't actually see his corpse. So like they could easily bring him back, and I think that would not surprise me at all if they actually did. I think that would be so cool. Um, Griff, what's up, brother? I know you're watching over on the vertical stream. How's it looking? It's kind of cool because in the chat here, I can see who posts from the vertical and who posts from the normal one. Can you see that, Alex, on your side? So see, there's like a little
Um,
there's a little phone icon beside their name in the
I thought I
chat.
could. Oh yeah, I can see it.
In Streamladder, yeah, or Streamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. So we can kind of see where people are coming from, which is pretty cool. Sorry, we're trying out this multi-streaming lark here. We're streaming both vertically and horizontally on YouTube. So if you're listening to this, it makes no difference. They'll be like, "What are you talking about?" So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm very excited. I love how they're releasing it. I think it's the perfect kind of vibe to get people hyped. Throw a bunch of like hours at them, and then be like, "Now you got to wait till Christmas Day for the next one." Like Stranger Things is going to become a Christmas show. Like, it's going to be Christmas Day. Like I know exactly when I'm going to watch it on Christmas Day as well. Like I'm going to go and do my like family time. And then usually when we finish up, like in my parents' house after dinner and dessert and all that sort of stuff, we hang around for a little while. Then we usually come back to my house. And that's when like we'll put the kids to bed and boom, Stranger Things. Let's go.
Mm.
It's going to become a Christmas tradition. I love to hear it. Fucking fantastic. And then obviously New Year's Day for the big finale. It's fucking brilliant. It's great. It's marketing genius in my opinion. Talk to me about Derry because we haven't spoke about it at all. I think the last time I spoke about it here, I think there was like 2 or 3 episodes out. I didn't really want to speak about it too much because again, you aren't watching it, so I may as well
I,
have been
I,
talking to myself.
I mean, I really don't care. Like in terms of these
I know,
shows, like
I know you don't. I know, but it's nice to have it's nice to have someone who's also watching it to bounce the topics off. It's harder for me to talk about it by myself when you're not watching it.
yeah, fair enough. I just in terms of these shows, like you really gotta tell me to like watch them.
I know.
um it's easier for me to want to get into something when someone tells me to watch them. It's more
Yeah.
so it's like, hey, did you watch this? It's like, well, no, I'm kind of working on other things. But I I never really thought to watch any of the it stuff. Like I remember
Mm,
watching the old flick with Tim Curry. I didn't really
mhm.
watch any of the new stuff with like Bill Skarsgård
They're good.
as the clown.
They're really good.
Um
I really
yeah,
enjoy
with
them.
Pennywise. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they are. It's just like my tastes are like widely different.
Mhm.
It takes a lot to really consider certain horror flicks. Like I'm not against horror at all. I'm not against thrillers either. It's just it really has to captivate me. A lot of
Yeah.
the time, like I'll watch stuff like this and I think it's just fucking hilarious. Um, Mainly because it's not really scary to me. It's just more like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
I'm with you there,
I
bro. I'm with you there.
it, I'm like I would understand like why this show is really good though, because it's actually got a good concept about it. I think it's an interesting take on, it's another past show. Essentially it's another like what, 60s show.
Yeah.
It's like really early in the years. It's like even
Mhm.
before the time of Stranger Things, which
And I
I
think
think
it's
is really
before the
interesting.
it's before the time of the It movies as well, if I'm not mistaken too. So this is
Yeah,
kind of
with Welcome
this
to
is a pre
Derry.
yeah, this is a prequel to It.
Yeah.
Um, Griff, I'm an 80s kid, grew up with horror and love it. I'm kind of the same, bro. Like I don't hate horror either. Like I can pass it up as well. Like and I don't mind kind of waiting until around spooky season to watch stuff as well. Like I'm not itching to watch the next big thing all the time. I'm just watching this because there's kind of nothing else on right now. And I'm enjoying it. Like I do like the It movies, but yeah, it's not like my favorite genre. I'm not like you know running to the TV every Monday night to watch it. It airs on Sundays, like late on Sundays, so I don't get a chance to watch it until Monday after work. But you know, I'm just enjoying watching it. It's not like gripping TV for me. I think it's a little slow pace wise, week by week, but I do enjoy the story that they're telling. And I think we had to wait 5 weeks to actually properly see Pennywise, which I was kind of pissed off every week. I was kind of talking to Sharky offline about it because she's watching it, and I was kind of like, are we going to see him this week? Are we going to see him this week? And then, like, we see like the little yellow eyes, like in like episode 4, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Like, because I was kind of thinking, like, are they actually going to go through the first season of this show and not actually show us Pennywise? Like, because that, like, it was getting to a stage where I'd been watching it for a month and we hadn't even seen his face yet. And I'm like, I think they actually could be doing this. Like, we might not actually see Pennywise maybe until the very end. And I was thinking, like, oh God, I kind of hope they don't do that because it kind of sucked. But then obviously with this week's episode, the latest one, which was episode 5, they went for it, like, and it was great. It was really, really good.
Well,
Really enjoyed it.
and honestly, that's why I like the show so far, is because of the fact that they didn't show off the clown immediately, because I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not it's not about the clown. It's
yeah.
it's about it's about what the clown represents, or what the clown essentially is encapsulating in like in this world, or in
Yeah.
this section of Derry. Because if they just had shown the clown, it would have just been another it show. Like it would have
Mhm.
been another it movie. This whole buildup was much stronger without him showing up right away than I would have even imagined. If it was just Pennywise again, I would have been like, I know I didn't watch the movies, but like if they already have movies where they already have Pennywise available, and Pennywise is like, the kind of the main show of those movies, then doing it Welcome to Derry and having like this buildup of different horrifying things leading into Pennywise being kind of like the mainstream for a lot of the different fears that the kids have. Because I'm assuming, because like the idea behind this entity is the fact that it's hitting you everywhere that you find fearful. Like anything
Yeah.
that's like your deepest darkest fears should be kind of showcased in that sense. And the fact that like by the time they reach the bottom of the sewers, it's like, okay, well, the main part of the show, which is like the true essence, which I'm assuming like, Pennywise isn't the true design of the creature, but it is like kind of a physical or like humanoid manifestation of it, which I think works well because then it's like, okay, well, now we have something to kind of latch onto human wise, as opposed to all these really fucked up like images that they've been seeing like here and there within Derry.
Mhm.
And I think it works really well, especially for the beginning episode, where essentially it had nothing to do with Pennywise. It was more so just the immense fear that the kid was having while in the car, being ignored completely while shit's just going fucking crazy, and then having like a demon baby basically like pop out and just start causing chaos. And then
That shit was
essentially like
so fucked up.
it was really cool. I really like that kind of stuff. Like I really like, because in terms of horror, there's a lot of different subgenres of horror, in my opinion. Um, there's the standard like horror, and there's scare tactics, there's gore, there's like claustrophobia. There's all these different types of like even phobias that they'll hit here and there that like will just make people just really cringe when they watch this stuff, which I think is really cool. This is basically just like, what is your greatest fear kind of theming.
Yeah.
And the fact, I think it's really amazing that they are actively killing children. Like that is the coolest thing in my opinion, because that you don't see that in horror film that often. You see a lot of the adults, you see a lot of like high school kids, you see a lot of college kids, you might even see a couple middle school kids here and there, but like they're just straight up going at it. They're like, we're like killing kids. It doesn't matter. This thing will kill whatever it is that it wants, that it comes into contact with.
You need to
And I
watch the
think
movies,
that's
bro. If you find that cool, I think you got to watch the
well,
movies because it's just him tormenting children the whole time. Like it's
well,
hilarious.
but that's the thing. That's the difference. Is like if you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
for sure.
tormenting, that's one thing. If you're talking about killing them, that's
Yeah,
another. He's actively getting them killed.
yeah, yeah.
So like it's a completely different perspective. If you're telling me that I should watch it because not only do they horrify the kids, but they cause them to die, then it's like, okay, well that's a cool spin because that's unique. Like you don't usually get stuff like that, because a lot of the times, the general audience will be like, fuck, you shouldn't be killing kids. It's like in a real horror situation, it doesn't matter what, like if you're a kid, if you're an adult, like the serial killer is going to kill whoever the fuck they want to kill,
Yeah,
unless they
well,
have unless
we
they have some
now
sort of, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and we now know that like Pennywise doesn't even come from the earth, so wouldn't
No.
wouldn't make wouldn't make fuck of a difference if it's a child or not. Like
Yeah,
they just
which
want they
that
just he just feeds on fear, as we find out in the show. And who's the most fearful? Children, like, you know what I mean? So they're oozing fear. So like
yeah.
that's why he's like going after children, like, which is, for me, I'm not a big it fan. I don't know if we've any sweaty it nerds in here right now. If we do, please let us know. Like, was that a shock? Because I did see some articles about it, like talking about how they've kind of retconned Pennywise and changed the story, or like, maybe just like kind of change the trajectory of the character by introducing that he's actually come from space and all this mad shit, and he's an alien technically. Like, it's kind of fucking crazy. Like, from watching the movies, like, I suppose you never really know what Pennywise is. I always just kind of thought it was like an interdimensional kind of thing or something, because they, in one of the movies, they kind of explain his like base underground has like connections to like other universes and shit. It gets really fucking weird, but I think
Mhm.
that's like Stephen King trying to connect, because he loves to connect all of his stories together. So I know there's like ways of him like traveling to different universes and stuff, and he's able to go into like different Stephen King stories. And I think one of the characters, I saw somebody breaking down the first episode, there was like a character who was meant to be a younger version of someone from The Shining. And um obviously in the latest episode as well, the whole Shawshank stuff as well, like with the dude getting shipped off to Shawshank prison and stuff. Like, again, like
Mhm.
that's just, Stephen King putting in all of his other stuff. But I always kind of thought it was just like that. So sorry, Dan saying here, we have known that his arch enemy is a giant space turtle. What the
That's Stephen King for you.
I, I
That's
like,
Stephen King.
Dan could be joking there, and I'm just like, I don't know what to think. Like, that could be exactly the story. I don't even know.
I honestly, I would
I
believe it.
don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know. Dan could be Dan could be joking me right now. but that's how wacky this shit is. But I thought it was cool, man. Like, if you watch the movies like alone, like it's kind of just this like freaky entity thing that's just eating children, and if you like now with this show, it's expanding it into the whole story of like this thing crashing on Earth. There's the materials and like the minerals that combat it, and they're talking about bringing up all the pillars and everything. I think all that's really cool. It's expanding the story for me. The show itself is, I don't know if it's like I kind of feel like there's a lot of backstory and storytelling, which obviously you're expanding the story so much you need to tell all that, which I fully understand. I just think the pacing of it is a little slow. Like you're waiting a week to watch 45 minutes, and there's not a lot kind of happening in the present. It's a lot a build up, which I presume will pay off by the end. But it's in when they tell stories like this, I just kind of wish that they would release it in a different way. Like I think this would work a lot better if we maybe got the first 3 episodes in one go, and then the next 3 episodes, and then like a final bash of like a bunch of the final episodes. I understand kind of why HBO want to do it that way, because they want to just have something on every Sunday and try and trickle out the viewership and keep the viewers high and all that sort of stuff. I understand that, but it's like I don't know. It just feels a little lackluster when not a terrible amount happens in the 40 minutes that we get to watch, and then we have to wait another week for the next bit. Whereas if we got to see those first 3 episodes as one viewing, or split over 2 days or something, I think it would just flow a lot better. So many shows fall victim to this as well, man. Like I'm not just giving it about this show. I think like so many of them do, and I think back to what I said about Stranger Things, the way that they're releasing this show, I think it's gonna fucking slap. I think it's gonna be great.
Mm. I mean, I understand uh, the whole pacing situation, but I think that the design of the show is actually not bad.
Hmm.
I really think that it's doing a good job. It's giving you a bunch like a bit of everything every day. In well, like not every day, but every week. Essentially, that you're when you watch it, you get backstory piled with things that they're trying to figure out, piled with kind of like the punchline, which is like, here's the fucking scary shit, here's the horror that comes with it. There's
Yeah.
always some new type of monster, or maybe like a revisit of another monster that comes in, and just kind of like brings in that fear again, which I think is really good. They don't drop it and just do an entire perspective of conversations, and then just like and then just skip any of the horror. As far as I remember, every single episode has something that's horrifying that pops up, that scares the characters and drives them insane, essentially.
Hmm.
In some cases it drives them to the point where they almost kill themselves, and
Yeah.
it's like really good. I think that's really good stuff. I think it's great that they're trying to work everything in and just kind of keep that fluidness, because I think that not doing that would cause a lot of like, it would be more of a roller coaster ideal,
Hmm.
in terms of like episode wise. But because every episode has every bit in it, it's roller coaster every episode on its own. It's not taking its time, reaching to the top and then hitting the bottom, which I think works really well. Like I like this style. I think that this is great. It's how things should be in terms of what is happening today, essentially. That's kind of the formula that most people go by. Like that's a formula that's been around since, I don't know, the time of the Flintstones. Like you just have like your conflicts, you have your resolution, you have your talks, and then you go on to the next episode. Um,
Yeah.
and Supernatural does the same thing. They do Monster of the Week. It's they have their monster, they have their conflict, then they have their Dean, we need to talk kind of situation, and then they move on. And I think that it works really well.
You
Nice.
bring up
Oh yeah, dude.
Supernatural. I haven't read it yet, but yeah, there's a new comic running at the moment. It's
Oh
set
yeah,
between
dude.
seasons 1 and 2. It's cool. I
I
wanted to
love
show
it.
you that. I was going to wait till the end, but you naturally brought it up, so I thought I'd just show it there.
Supernaturally brought it up.
Oh, let's go. Dan brought this up as well. Sorry, I just want to bring this up with the chat. Pennywise pretending to be the kid the whole time was crazy. I saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah,
I
same here. To be
it
honest, I
was
was like,
I turned to my missus at one point, where they're sitting up in their little base, and
"Hmm,
like the kid was sitting there, and I was like, that kid looks dead. I was like, he's gray. Like, what the fuck? I was like, I guarantee you that's not him. I say he's dead the whole time. I guarantee you that's like Pennywise, or like it's a vision, or it's a ghost, or it's like a zombie or some shit. They're gonna say
mhm."
something bizarre, like it's gonna be something crazy. And yeah, when he did the little turnaround, like I was like, oh yeah, wow. I was like, I knew that was coming straight away. So
Well,
funny.
well, then like he goes no cops, and it's like no, kids don't say that. Kids don't say that. Kids
Yeah.
don't go no cops. It's like okay, this is clearly something else. Like what the hell is going
Bit
on
where he
here?
was twirling around on the pole, and he like his the back of his head
Started
was opening up.
transforming.
Oh, bro, that was like visually this show is stunning. Like it's crazy. Um yeah, it's like twisted.
The the pickles aisle was like one of my favorite because that was
Yeah,
insane.
that was crazy. Like I'd
Yeah,
say 90% of the budget of this show goes to like scenes like that, the special effects and everything. It's so well done. And even just the end bit where where Pennywise was about to kill the girl, and then like the glowing thing in the water, and like it just like focuses in on his face. He's got like 700 teeth and all. And oh man, it just looks perfect. It's
mhm.
crazy. So good. Yo, welcome to the stream. Talking about Stranger Things season 5. Ted Wheeler dies within volume 1, sacrificed himself to save Karen and Holly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think like I don't really, I haven't really thought about Ted at all as a character. But I'm very excited to see where the whole thing goes. I think we're going to see a lot. I'm really hoping none of the big characters die. I know some of them probably have to go, but it's like if Steve goes, we riot and all. Like I'm seeing so many posts about that online. So many people want Steve to stay. Like, because again, where Alex is right now, and not to ruin any of the story for him, but like
Ruin it.
Steve hasn't really become who he is yet as we know him for you. Like in season 2, he's still kind of like the senior, the jockey guy. Like he's like he's not like he's not the Steve that we all know. You know what I mean? Like Steve is a fucking legend. Like he's probably one of the best characters in the show. He has like a completely different arc during season 3 and into season 4. Like he is like the dad of the family, like of the kids. Like he's like the big brother to Dennis and all. Like, and he's just a legend. He's absolute legend. And like I think he's an absolute fan favorite now. Like I'd be most upset if Steve died. And that's not just because I like Joe Keely's music and stuff, but I love Steve as a character. Like I play as Steve in Dead by Daylight. I just love him so much. Like I would be absolutely distraught if he died. I honestly don't really, as bad as this sounds, I don't really care about many of the other kids. Like if like Lucas dies, or maybe I'd be upset if Toothless died. I'd be Dustin. Like I'd be a bit upset if he died. But the rest of them, I honestly wouldn't give a shit. Like if Will died, wouldn't care. If like what's the other guy's name? The who's going out with 11? Jesus.
Mike,
Mike, yeah. If Mike dies, I don't care. I couldn't even remember his name.
and
I
not
don't
even a
care.
fan. I just
Don't even
started. You're not even
care.
a fan.
Not even. I couldn't remember his name, man. I blanked on it for a second. Please, cut me some slack. But yeah, no. Honestly, I wouldn't care. Like if Joyce dies, if Hopper dies, I just that wouldn't really bother me. But just if Steve goes, man, like we riot. We riot if Steve goes. 100%. Yeah. And I think that's why he probably will, because everyone loves him so much. They'll fucking kill him off. I'm sure they will, and I'm gonna be upset. But I'm very excited. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Appreciate you leaving the comment. Yeah, I've just, oh man, I hope they don't kill him. Do you know where you are in season 2?
I'm right there in season 2.
Like,
I'm like right there.
as in, like at the very start or at the very end? Like you're about to finish it, or you just started it? What do you mean by right there? What do you mean?
Where are
Speak
you?
English. Exact location, please.
I hold on, let me check.
Drop a pin. Tell us where you are.
Episode 3.
Okay. Yeah, you have
You're
a lot to
good.
go.
Spoil it all, man. Go for
No,
it.
no, 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 no. I don't even want to. Like, I want you to experience it, like as we did. Like, I want you to experience it for the first time as we did. Like, again, I don't want to talk too much about it. Again, like some of the things I've probably said already in the past, you won't even remember when you come around to watching it. So you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Hmm.
So yeah, welcome to Derry. To sum it up, I'm really, really enjoying the show. I'm really enjoying the world build of it. The intro music is fantastic. I love the art of the intro and everything. Like it's really well done. The acting, it's great. Except for I actually hate the main girl. I don't know what her name is. I think she's a terrible little actress. Like she just can't act. The rest of them, I think, are fucking brilliant. But for some reason, like the girl with the curly hair, the main one, I don't think she's a very good actress at all. It's something about her facial expressions or something. I just
I
I'm finding her hard
Wow.
to watch. Yeah.
I think she's doing great.
No, no, I don't like her. I don't like her at all. I think the rest of them, the cool little slickster kid and all, I think he's funny and like I like all the other characters except for her for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's like the face that she
You
makes.
don't like the normal person basically. You like all the crazy
No,
shit.
no, I don't. I wouldn't say she's normal.
She's pretty
No,
normal.
yeah, she is. Yeah, maybe she's too vanilla, and she's like I don't know. It's like it's the facial expressions she makes and the way she talks and stuff. I just don't really like it. But
Sh- That's crazy, man. I think she has the best like facial expressions.
no, I
She's
don't get
like
it.
her face really changes up. Like it's really fearful. Pretty fucked.
I'm not gonna do this now, but I'll look up a couple of pictures of her from the show, and I guarantee it'll be like the same fucking face every time.
Well, that I mean, at least she shows faces. It's
It's
really hard.
the same
Like
face. She's
I don't
constant.
remember. I don't remember any of the other kids showing off like a face like she does. Like they zoom in on her face a lot more often. They show like her fear.
Hmm.
I don't remember the other kids to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it at all. The shot, the like the scene in the shopping center or the supermarket or whatever. That was good. I enjoyed that scene. That was great. But yeah, for mostly she's not. I'm not hitting it off with her. Let's just say we're
Gotcha.
not connecting. We're not connecting. Um, Fallout season 2 comes out I think next week, which very excited. I know you've played all the games. You're probably more of a Fallout fan than I am, but absolutely loved season 1 of the show. Dying for more. Cannot wait. They released a trailer there a couple of weeks ago. Looks fantastic. You know, on par with the first one. I think it's going to be great. Um, do you have any like predictions? Because I know you've played the game, so like, do you know where the story is potentially going?
Well, if you like you finished the first season, right?
Yeah, yeah, he's going. Isn't it the dad's going to Vegas at the end? So
Yeah, they're
New,
heading over to
New
New
Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah. So
Yep.
you know, I haven't even played the games, but you know, that's pretty easy to piece together. Um, but yeah, what do you think? Like, do you have any other things that you think are going to happen?
Well, I mean, the idea behind this season is apparently it's set after the events of pretty much all the other games, so it should be a weird toss up where we're probably going to get some canon going on from from the show itself. It's either canon or non-canon. I'm pretty sure it's canon now, considering that it's like beyond everything. Um, and we'll see whether or not Mr. House is there. We're going to see like who controls New Vegas because usually when you're playing any of the New Vegas, like when you're excuse me, when you're playing New Vegas, there's like I don't know, like 5 different endings. So
Right.
you could choose to have certain characters or factions control the New Vegas Strip. Otherwise, you can just let it be like a lawless area. It'd be like I think they called it a wild card. Essentially, like you control it,
Cool.
where you let the House control it, you let NCR control it, or you let Caesar's Legion, or yeah, it's essentially a ton of different options. So when we get there, I wonder if they're actually going to address that or if they're just going to kind of brush it by so that it stays ambiguous. Because if it stays ambiguous, and then that would be really interesting, considering like that would be really hard to do as well. Um, if we
Hmm.
see that the Securitrons are not the Securitrons, I can't remember what the security. Maybe it is a Securitron. I can't remember what the security bots are called, but basically they're bots that were created like from Mr. House,
Right.
and Victor is one of them. Like we're gonna see Victor in the show. I don't know if you ever played any of the New Vegas stuff, but
No.
essentially we're gonna see Victor. We're gonna see the strip. We're gonna see like we're probably gonna see Freeside. We're probably like depending on how long it's been, we maybe we'll see some of the memorable areas. They have like um, there's a shop that's like all energy weapons. There's a shop that's like, kind of like a stay and gamble. There's, depending on what's happened, maybe we'll see some. We're definitely going to see a lot of cameos coming through. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the tops. I think that's going to be a big one if we do see the tops, because that's where we essentially interact with Benny. Um, it'd be cool to just see everything, like the tops, White Glove Society, Gamora, Lucky. I think the Lucky 36. I can't remember if that's the actual number. There's Vault 21 or 20. No, it's Vault 22. I think it's there.
Mhm.
One of the vaults is in there, and that's a cool option. You have like all the other factions that are on the outside. There's a ton of story in New Vegas as opposed to what we currently saw in the first season. So it just depends on like how far they want to go down the rabbit hole. New Vegas was huge story wise. That one
Yeah.
that one was made by or developed by Obsidian. So a lot of stuff that Obsidian makes is very story driven. It's very heavily conversation, uh,
Yeah.
like conversation driven, as opposed to when you play Fallout 3, which has Fallout 3 has a great story. I just probably remember the combat more so than the actual like conversations that go on. Besides, Megaton or Tenpenny Tower or talking to Three Dog or whatnot, and that's over in the Capital Wasteland next to the Commonwealth. And then like you have your Fallout 4, which is in Boston, because that's part of the Commonwealth. And then there's like there's a ton of lore, there's a ton of story. I'm trying not to get like crazy about it right now, but because it's very rich in story. So like as far
I
as
love
I
that
know,
though. They've so much to work with, and
yeah,
with there being multiple endings as well, it'll be curious to see like what they kind of go with.
right,
And
yeah, like
will they do something cool? Like, will they do like, maybe they'll shoot two different endings and depending how the show's going or, depending if something leaks, do they flip and go one way or the other? That should be kind of cool.
right. And the only thing I would say that would be like a viable option is if they essentially were like, oh yeah, they tried everything and
Yeah.
nothing worked, so they stopped. Like I
Yeah.
think that would also be kind of a funny take. It's like, oh, like Mr. House tried to rule, nobody liked it, so they killed him. NCR tried to rule, nobody liked it, so they kicked them out.
Yeah.
Caesar's Legion tried, like that would be pretty funny. Because
And
then we
I
see
think
like all the different options.
I think there'd be something cool. Like I think there'd be a really cool way of doing like if they had it like interactive like a video game. But if they had it where, either you could, if it was something like a TV show like this, where you could like vote with your remote which way you want it to go, and then you could see different endings, and then that would just create such a conversation online and in person with people. What ending did you get? Like, which way did you go with it? And even if they could do it in on the big screen, release movies where they have like maybe three different endings, and then like the audience decides like fucking how who wants to be a millionaire sort of thing. Like they
Yeah.
everyone just keys in ABC or whatever on a pad when you're watching the film, and then depending on what the crowd wants, that's the ending that you get. I think that's like something that we've never really seen, especially on the big screen. And I think something like that would be really fucking cool. I don't know why they've never done it before. I think it's like it's kind of easy when you think about it. Like it's so easy to do in gaming. I think it would be pretty easy to do on like an interactive app like Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever. And I think like it'd be something really cool that you could do on the big screen. Scan a QR code at the start of the thing. You log onto a site and put in your username or whatever, or link it to IMDb or Rotten
Mhm.
Tomatoes or something, and then just you cast your vote while you're watching the film, and boom, away you go. Like you get one ending, someone gets a different ending. I think that'd be a great way to kind of bring people back. I know, like I always kind of talk about like ways that Hollywood need to kind of work to bring people back because like the box office was one thing that I wanted to kind of maybe touch on if the conversation naturally went here and it kind of is now. So like the box office is in shambles, man. Like it's crazy. I went to see that movie, The Smashing Machine, weeks ago. We kind of I think I spoke about it here already, but I thought it was going to be the easiest win of all time. You know what I mean? You've got like Emily Blunt, she's phenomenal in the film. You've got The Rock, it's probably one of his best performances. It's an MMA movie. Everyone loves UFC and stuff like that. So I was thinking like this movie is going to make 100 million in the first day. Like the budget was 40 million. I was like they'll make this back in the first day domestically. Like I was like this shouldn't be a problem at all. And the movie I haven't looked it up in a while, but I don't even think it even like crossed 40. Like it was the last I checked, it was on something like 20. Like I was worldwide. I was like, what the hell's happening? And then your one Sydney Sweeney released another kind of boxing movie. And again, like I think it was in the bottom 10 performing box office movies of all time when it first released. Like one of the worst movies ever released on the big screen. And then they released the numbers for week 2 and it dropped 92%. So think about that for a second. Like that is some of the worst shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, and I just don't know how they've gotten here. Like, is it cinemas are too expensive? Like, I saw the Sydney Sweeney thing, and I thought to myself, like, you know, maybe that would be an all right one to watch on Prime or Netflix or something for free. You know, sitting on a Friday night, nothing else to watch. Maybe you throw it on. Like, I like combat movies and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. Why not? But I'm not paying like $55 like on tickets and food and all this stuff to go and see it on the big screen. And I just think that's where everyone is right now. I think the box office is just far too expensive. And I think it's driving people away. You know, a lot of people like can't afford this. You know, everyone's in a cost of living crisis. You know, everything is so expensive, and the theater, which should be, in my opinion, like you know, should be a thing that you can go and do, and it's not going to break the bank, and it's an escape. It's a nice day out. You know, you get to go and live in a different world for a couple of hours, and you know, sit and embrace something like it. It's a magical place for me personally, anyway. And I just hate that it's so expensive. Like, I would love to be going to the cinema once a week, going to see like everything on the big screen, and I just can't like it just can't justify it. Like it's crazy. I went to my first 4DX show on my birthday. It was my birthday a few weeks ago, and we went to see The Running Man, the new one with Will, what's his name? Oh my god, the dude who's in like Chad Powers and stuff. I can't even think of his name right now. He's phenomenal. Like the movie's great. It's really fun. But we were like sitting in these chairs that were like shaking like a fucking roller coaster and everything. So fun. So fun. And I'm just thinking like, fuck, like so many movies would be really cool to see like this on the big screen, like Avatar, or like there's like wind blowing at you and like you can turn on a setting like in some movies where there's like water shooting at you and everything. It's crazy, bro. So much fun. Um, yeah, really, really cool. Dan says, I think Final Destination 3 on DVD did that. All the like options for multiple endings. That'd be a great movie for that as well, actually, where it'd be something like, you know, choose who dies or whatever, or choose who lives, and then you get different outcomes. That's really cool. I must look that up because I've seen all those movies, but I don't think I ever watched the third one on DVD.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the budget.
Mm,
Which I mean, yeah, because you know you have to do multiple
of
takes,
course,
multiple
yeah,
shots,
yeah,
and
yeah.
but I
A lot
mean,
of
like
work.
I totally agree though. Like I think it would be fun to do multiple endings and kind of set it up to be, you know, on the basis of like which one do you prefer, and you know what does the audience think, and I think that um it would be kind of cool if even if they did right now they do shots and they're you know they're like okay well this is actually what happened after the events of like all the other games, this is what happened in New Vegas, and then people were like that was okay, I kind of really wish we could see like this and that, and then they do like a reshoot or something or like a director's cut of like yeah we actually had all these other options available, and
Yeah,
then they just like release that on their Blu-rays, and essentially
there we
you can
go.
watch from there. I think that would be
There we
really
go.
cool.
I've
Um,
heard of like even like Kevin Feige having different endings for some of the Marvel movies in case it leaks, and they could just kind of sidestep to a different story if they need to, which you know probably is a lifesaver. You know, if their big ending for Endgame gets leaked or whatever, or Infinity War or whatever, then it's like shit. Well, actually, let's change some things around, or you know, it's good to have that kind of safety net. Um, but yeah, I'd love to see it again. Like you say, it's a big cost. You know what I mean? You're shooting multiple endings and you're shooting different like potentially like multiple versions of the same scene, different dialogue, different options, you know, different reactions, the whole shebang. So you're nearly like tripling or quadrupling the amount of stuff that you have to film. But I think it'd be such a great gimmick, you know. especially if you did something like like Knives Out or something like, which is a big hit on Netflix. Like it'd be so cool if that was interactive. I think it would
Oh,
just it
absolutely.
would bring even more people in. Like, it's like, who survived at the end of yours? Like, who was the killer? Like, all this crazy shit. Like, I think it would just be it'd be an event, man. Like, I think like I could picture my parents watching that, and like I'd be like, they'd be like, who did you get and everything. I think it'd be like it would just create so much conversation and buzz around the project. Like, I think it's a no brainer. I hope Hollywood are listening to this right now.
Yeah, I mean, interactivity is always a fun gig.
Yeah,
Again, it always goes back to the cost, but like if you cost aside, you know, just do it if you can. Like I think
yeah.
that would be really fun.
And even like to talk about the game Dispatch that I think I talked about it in a previous episode, but this game came out. It's like a superhero, like Invincible style game, but like basically it's like a telltale, like multiple choice, like you decide where the story goes. It's exactly what
Mhm.
I'm talking about, what should be in film and stuff. And this is like animated exactly like Invincible. It plays just like you're watching episodes of Invincible, but you're just deciding what the main character does and stuff, like who his love interest is going to be, which characters die, like who stays on the team and all. And it's phenomenal. And even that, like, I could play that again and just sit back and just watch. It was
Mhm.
just so cool. Don't need it to be interactive. Don't need to play it at all. I just want to sit back and watch the story and just maybe decide a few things which way the story goes. But like stuff like that on the big screen, stuff like that on the small screen, I think would be a big hit.
Absolutely.
Okay, in Final Destination 3, you get to choose how each person died along the way, Goosebumps style. Very cool.
That's
Very
really
cool.
fun.
Yo, Kate, what's up? How are you? Who's
Let's
pumped?
go,
We're
Kate.
we're ready. We're ready. Let's go. I'm still trailer spoiler free, so you haven't seen anything for the new season at all. That's great. I just want to
That's
go
really
back to as
good.
well because I know some people are coming in talking about Stranger Things straight away. Obviously, the thumbnail for the podcast is about Stranger Things and everything. So, this one here, just again, I didn't want to disrupt your flow talking about everything else. So,
Yeah.
um, that was a great little thing on Fallout as well. So, I didn't want to completely change it, but this one I suppose
Stop the
you're on.
presses.
Yeah. Fucking stop the show. So yeah, do we think Vecna's gonna have like a Darth Vader arc where he's gonna turn on the Mind Flayer last minute? Assume the Mind Flayer is the big bad. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about that right now because again, Alex hasn't seen it, but
Dude, I can shut my brain off. Don't worry.
I
Like
know,
it's
but
it's
still, I want you to experience all this. But basically, yeah, like kind of there's a big bad in season 3 and 4, and it turns out it's like they call him Vecna, which is like
mhm,
a D&D reference, and it's yeah, like you basically see his origin of how he got to the Upside Down, and like he basically is in control of it, and
mm,
yeah, like basically the question there is asking like because he starts out as a person on our side and then gets kind of sent there and manipulated and twisted by it and becomes the Dark Lord of the place. So do we think he's gonna have a final like Vader in Return of the Jedi? Fantastic Star Wars reference, by the way. Love it. Um and I just yeah, like is he gonna turn back to the good side? I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. I don't me personally I don't think so, but we'll see where it goes. Dude, spoilers. He's said multiple times he doesn't care.
yeah. I'm really not like once you guys start talking about it, I can literally do something else and shut my brain off.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
I really don't remember what the hell you just said just now.
yeah. That's good. That's good. So yeah, just
Yeah.
block it out of your mind. I remember
Yeah, no,
someone
I can't hear anything.
I know what it's like because I remember when Dexter was first airing, and I know we've talked about Dexter before and we both love it. I
Yeah.
remember I hadn't watched any of Dexter yet, and I think they were airing season 4, which is in my opinion the best season of Dexter. And I remember like two of the girls in work were talking about it, and they were talking about the Rita scene at the very end, and
Mhm.
I was just like kind of joking. I remember saying this at the time. I remember joking, just going, "Well, now I know Rita dies," and like they were like, "Oh my god, bro, I'm so sorry you haven't watched it." But when I went and sat down and watched episode 1, I completely forgot about that entire exchange, and I completely forgot who Rita was and everything. And then when I came to see it happen, I went, "Oh my god, read it!" Like it was like one of the most distraught I've ever been watching a TV show. I felt like my own girlfriend had got gutted and left in the bath. Like honestly, I was shook by it. And then I remember thinking back, and I was like, "Oh my god, she ruined that for me in work," and it just left my mind. I just completely forgot about it, you know. So I understand exactly what you're saying. Well, like you haven't seen something, and people come in and they're talking about it and stuff. You do kind of mentally just block it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, big time.
And like, to be fair, even if I were to get spoiled on something, it doesn't tell me how it happens.
Yeah, true, true.
So yeah.
So you like you might have Vecna in your head, but like that doesn't really mean anything
I've
anyway.
I've I've
Yeah.
heard of Vecna before, like before I even started the show.
Hmm.
I can like the only thing I can think of is that maybe it's that dude on the fucking title, like the title card. But I don't know who the fuck that guy is. Like I like for all I know, could be someone that they just talk to on the regular. They have coffee with them.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Um, we were talking about gaming a few minutes ago, and I thought I'd just kind of talk a little bit about Arc Raiders because it's taken over my entire life. So this is a bit of a piece for the gamers. So I apologize if you're not a gamer, but there's a game out right now called Arc Raiders. It's kind of like a looter shooter. You drop into like a post-apocalyptic world where AI have taken over. It's like a little on the nose with where we're going in our world right now, I think, which is funny. But basically, yeah, you join into a game. There's like the games are like 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long. You try and get up to the real world, loot as much as you can, and then you like scurry back underground where all of the humans have to retreat to live because the robots and the AI and aliens are gonna kill everybody. It's fucking fantastic. You can play it solo, duo, trios. There's like proximity chat in it and everything. It's taken over my life, man. And I'm so down for it. I've been saying it on my gaming stream for a long time. I want something to just sink my teeth into, like Fortnite was for me back in 2018, like where it just took over Twitch, it took over the internet. And this game seems to be it. Like everyone's like gravitating towards it. I think you're playing it, right? We were talking about it before, weren't we? Are you?
Here and there,
Yeah.
like unfortunately I'm having the same issues with the Unreal Engine 5 games. Like 50 series cards for Nvidia, if you have a 50 series card and everything's working for you, that's great. But if you have a 5090 and you're having trouble, it's fucked up. Like all the drivers for Nvidia are kind of horrible right now. They just came out with a hot fix that is not, it's official, but it's not like officially pushing forward yet.
That's
You can get
criminal.
it on, dude. Like it's fucked up. Like I
That is
haven't.
fucked up, man. I would be raging because those cards are so expensive. I'd be going
Really
crazy.
are.
I have the best card on the market, and you're telling me I can't play a game? Like, excuse me? I don't know how you're not fucking flipping your monitors right now. I'd be going insane.
I mean, to be fair, you don't need a 5090 to game. You like 5080 should be your top.
Mm.
5090 is just overkill. You should be using a 5090 to do like, I don't know, Blender or any sort of like editing kind of
Alex,
stuff.
how many 5090s do you own?
5090, just one,
How many 4090s do you own?
two.
You're a madman with the fucking hardware. I love it. I love it. It's what I love about you. Um, that's insane, man. I have a 4070 Ti and I'm doing everything on one PC, and my poor PC is like 6 years old now. She's in dire need to be retired, and I need to get a second one. But what I'm thinking of doing is just splitting my setup into a two PC setup. I'm gonna build a new machine with like an AMD processor, some DDR5 RAM. I'm gonna take this 4070 and throw it into that and just turn that into just a game unit. And then this existing PC, I'm gonna put my old 2080 back in and just have this as a broadcast machine. That's my
Yeah, that
plan.
would work.
And I think it'll work well. I think I'll be able to kind of game on full graphics and everything like that, and then just I have an Elgato 4K capture card that I'm just gonna throw into into the gaming or into the streaming PC. I'm
Yeah,
fucking sorted. But
that
yeah,
sounds
man.
great.
Oh man, I feel so sorry for you, like because I know like how expensive those cards are and how fucking incredible your setups are. And if you're having trouble, like there's no hope for any of us. There's
Oh,
no
I
hope
mean,
for any of us.
there's so many different remedies here and there that you can try, and I've tried them all, and it just doesn't work. It's a lot of little things here and there that like make or break the like the way that things process on your computer. And a lot of it had to do with the recent October updates that they did with Windows. It had
Mhm.
nothing to do with the game at all. It was more Windows updates that like were security updates or any sort of updates to I think they're like they're KH updates. And they had like this big one that really reduced the efficiency of the 50 series cards for the
Can you
longest time.
can you roll back?
You can. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but I was like, nah, I don't give a shit. Like, I'll just go play
Yeah,
something else. Like, I have tons of games. Like, I don't have to play the most recent game right now.
yeah.
It from what I can tell, Arc Raiders is going to be here to stay for quite a while. I think it'll last for about a year, and then people will drop off.
That's like in 2025. I think that's good as well. You know, just because there's so much out there. You know, obviously people still play Fortnite and Call of Duty and all that sort of stuff, but like, you know, games come and go so quickly now that, you know, the hot shit is completely different in 2 months' time. So, um, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm it's got its hooks in me and it's refreshing because I haven't felt about a game like this in a long time.
Mhm.
To bring back up Dan's question here, do you think the hype will last long term? Alex says about a year. I don't know. I think we need to see how the next big update goes because people are like so in love with the game right now. And like me personally, I think I have about 30 hours in it at the moment, and I'm nowhere near complete. You know what I mean? I'm level 27 or something like that. You cap off at level 75. I think there's every couple of months there's going to be like a wipe or a reset, so you can prestige, and then you go back and you have to do your skill trees and all again. So there's like they're definitely playing it clever to keep the game alive. I know a lot of people. I was talking to in the Floods chat this morning, and he was saying that he's finished all of his quests, and he's kind of sad that they're over because he's like, I love doing the quests and having stuff to do in the games, and rather not just go in and loot and kill people. Like having a third thing to do while you're looting, while you're trying to PvP, then also having quests to do as well to kind of up your XP and skills and all is a great addition to the game, and I fully agree. I have so many quests left to do. Like I feel like I have easily another kind of 50 hours in the game. So to answer Dan's question, is it worth $80 because he's gonna have to buy 2 copies? I would say yes, absolutely. I paid the 40 originally. I've already put another 20 in to buy some cosmetics, and that'll kind of tell you how much I'm enjoying the game, that it's like I want my character to look cool. I'm going to actually spend a bit more money on the game as well. So I'm $60 on one solo copy. I'm actually going to probably see if I can get a copy for Andre as well. So I'll be like $100 deep in. So if that, I hope that answers your question. Yes, a big yes from me.
Um,
I think it's phenomenal as well. Sorry, it's bringing so many people back to gaming. I'm back gaming with some people that I haven't gamed with in years, and I'm talking to people who want to squad up and everything like that. People that I haven't gamed with since, like, there was a dude who I was talking to, and the last DM that I had to him was from 2021 when we played Battlefront 2 together, or the Star Wars one, Battlefront 2. Like, it's bringing friendships back together. Like people that I gamed with years ago are like, bro, are you on the game? Let's play. Like Kyle Crunk, who used to be on the podcast with us here, um, he's even DMing me saying we got to play some games soon. So like, it's an event, man. I think it's bringing gamers from everywhere. Like I think, you know, everyone was together for Fortnite during COVID. Everyone was together for Warzone 1 and stuff, and then we all kind of trickled out into doing our own thing. Some people stayed on Fortnite, some people went to Battlefront, Battlefield, the whole shebang. Like, you know, and I think everyone's just coming back to this. Like, I think it's just bringing so many communities together. Twitch is on fire right now. You know, there's like the burnt peanut is like taking over the internet right now. Like, it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. Like, it's exactly what I've been asking for years. Like, I haven't been this hyped about going live in a long time. Like, I'm loving just being live, playing games again, and Twitch was becoming a little bit of a task for me. Like at some points, like I loved the dispatch days. So like for the last month, that game has been like the only stream that I truly like was like looking forward to going live for. Obviously, the community games that I do on a Friday as well is great, but like Mondays and Tuesdays and like if I was live on a Sunday or something, like I'm just like, oh, I'll just play Fortnite or I'll try and find something good to do. This game, I'm thinking about it offline. I'm watching videos. I'm watching other people stream it. Like this game's taking over my life, and I'm loving it. I'm in for it every second of the way. So good. So I hope that answers your question, Dan. Clip it. um, sorry, were you gonna say something there before I went off on a big love rant?
I forgot.
Sorry.
After a while, I was like, I'm just gonna
Sorry,
let
you were
him go.
talking. You were talking about your graphics card. I mentioned rolling back, Because I remember I had to do it once before. I know it can be a little annoying to do it, but I think you need to go and find like, version 520.17 or whatever the last kind of perfect working one was. You got to go manually try and find it and install it. Um, might be worth doing. Might be worth something to look into for
Oh
yourself.
yeah, I've already done like
Okay.
everything, dude. I've rolled back the drivers. I've done hot fixes. I've turned off overclocking for both the RAM and the CPU because a lot of the times they're saying that the clocking for the RAM is just like it's not perfectly set when gaming. It tends to cause trouble and then there's crashes from that point. I think there's this weird um access violation that was going on with our creators when it came to like um reading the files, which I was like, okay, well let me just move stuff over, see if maybe it's something's going on with my drive. Maybe the drive is like for some reason not being reached.
Mhm.
XMP is the way to go. Yeah, I know. XMP is what? Intel? I haven't used Intel in a while. I use right now I'm using AMD with I think it's Expo AMD. Could be wrong. It's been a while. But it's like I like overclocking my stuff when I can because why not? Like I paid for the speeds that were on the box. I want to get those speeds, and the only way to do so when you're at that point is by basically going into your BIOS and saying, "I want you to run at this speed."
Yeah.
And in some cases,
Why
people
aren't you
will like
running at the speed out of the box, you bastard?
because it's
So annoying, bro.
well, it's not recommended. Like to be honest, like
No,
it
no.
shortens the life of your stuff. But like if you're running things pretty efficiently, like you're not really going to see a problem.
Yeah.
I would highly doubt that your shit's going to break at any point. I had never heard anyone that's actually had their stuff break before,
Mhm.
like that we know. Um, but I mean, I like on my end, I don't know how many people actually do this. Like, let me know in the comments if you like to strive for the highest shit. But I'm 4K gamer. I
Mm.
stream like I try to like if I do stream, I'm actually outputting my end in 4K, but it's downsizing to 1080p on Twitch.
Yeah.
Um, they're currently working on like in Twitch, they're currently working on 1440p streaming, which I think
It's
would
there.
be
It's here.
it's almost there. It's fucking people that are on the lower end on especially on mobile.
Yeah.
It's like it's still a lot of kinks and bugs going on.
Mhm.
A lot of people aren't really fans of it right now. Like I tried to watch Maximilian dude stream, and for on my end, I could totally watch it in
Yeah.
1440p because I have the phone for it, I have the computer for it.
Yeah.
It runs pretty smooth, but it requires hardware acceleration on your browser, which some people don't tend to use, or they don't have the proper hardware to handle that kind of like higher up like you know and so like
Mhm.
you have things like Netflix and Amazon Prime Video and whatnot where they've already got the encoding set up so that it's not going to fuck with your computer as much as it would Twitch. Like Twitch is like this constant battle of like streaming and trying to get the proper efficiency for those streamers with their transcoding so that they can essentially like you can watch it in 1080p at 60 frames per second, or you can watch it in at 30 frames per second. But they used to have that kind of like step up and step down for a lot of the metrics,
Yeah.
but it costs a lot of fucking money to do that kind of stuff, so they had to kind of like size it down.
Yeah.
12 600K can't keep up with your DDR5 600 megahertz RAM or 6000 megahertz RAM. I had to disable XMB to keep crash. Yeah, see, so like it just really depends on like how efficient you can make your products, altogether work.
Mhm.
And if they're not working together, they're going to freak each other out. They're going to be like, and then they die. And not like die as in like they break. It's just more so it crashes your computer because it's like, I can't handle this. I can't handle
Yeah.
this. I got to start over.
Abort. Abort.
Yeah. Run out. Get out. So like a lot of the forums for our creators were saying like yeah, the overclocking of your products is causing a lot of issues. And so some people like in the forums were like, oh my god, I turned off XMP or Expo and it fixed everything, thank you so much. So I'm like, all right, I'll just turn it off, I don't need it right now. Like there's no game that's really in high demand for the RAM currently,
Yeah.
because of a lot of the AI technology that's kind of like outputting a lot of the things that we need. Like it's really just if your graphics card can handle most of it. Like it's no big deal.
Mhm,
Um, it's only when you're trying to really push everything beyond its limits so that you can get like even just a fraction of performance increase.
mhm.
Um, but that's the fun of it, right? Like that's kind of the fun part where you're just like, I want to see if I can maybe get like 10% more on the frame rates, go from
Yeah,
like 100 go from 123 or like average 118 to like 130 or something like that, like pushing it that hard so that you get that extra couple bits of frames is like kind of the fun part of it, because then you get
yeah,
smoother gameplay and whatnot, especially for like a higher end if you're trying to do 4K, because 4K is in that realm of 120 144 at 4K. Whereas like if you look at the monitors right now, a lot of the monitors for 1080 are like flourishing with 240 300 like frames per second,
360. Yeah.
360. Like it's, and the reason why is
I
because
think there's some
the
540s now, isn't there?
I I can't remember, to be
There
honest.
is,
Like I
there is. There's 540s, yeah.
hell yeah, dude. Like, and
I don't
that's
think the human eye can't even see it, like, you know?
you know
Well, you
what?
still want it, you just want the numbers to know that it can.
Okay, for the people, for those of you who are like the human eye, like I it, who cares? It's
Yeah,
not it's not your eyes.
I'm with you, bro.
It's the monitor.
I'm with you.
Like
I'm with you.
yeah, it's like it's one of those things. Like I have some people like my girlfriend's brother-in-law, essentially it was like, dude, human eye can only see. It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can see the difference between 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second. My eye can see it. I
Yeah,
just like, I don't care if I can see every frame. All I care is whether or not if it's smooth, right? Like if it's smooth, then it's great. And if you're like, it matters on the turning. It matters on the turning, on the vertical and the horizontal turning. Like if you can turn your camera and there's no tearing and it's not lagging, or not lagging, but it's not like stuttering when you're turning,
blurring and shit, yeah.
yeah, then you're good.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
cares? Like,
Yeah. No,
but
I'm with you, bro. I'm the
the
same with
idea of,
cars, bro. My car can do 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds.
yeah,
I don't do it, but I know I'm
but
happy
you
it
know you
can.
can do it.
That's exactly it, you know?
Exactly. But like for people who are like first person shooter gamers or like over the shoulder, like any of that like really high intense like turning action, that's where they need to be. That's why that's why they're pushing so hard on these high end 1080p monitors with like such high refresh rates, because you need that refresh rate to be able to turn to see what you're looking at immediately and be able to fire at it as soon as you see it. it's
100%.
it it's exciting.
Yeah. No, it is. And like I've seen some, like I always like the monitor I have is 240. It's great. I got it like 6 years ago and it's still perfect. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
I don't really feel like I need much more now. But then you see some of these new OLED like 360s and you're like, oh my God. Oh, how good must that feel like? Like how good must that look like? Because it's like I think my next one has to be OLED because like just how deep the blacks are and stuff in OLED. Like I love like my TV downstairs is a 65-inch OLED, 4K, fucking 120 hertz. It is a monster of a TV, and like even I'm rewatching season, or I've just finished rewatching season 4 of Stranger Things. When we first watched that, we were still living in the apartment on my old TV, and just seeing all like these deep reds and blacks and stuff like it, the thing just it was a spectacle to watch. So incredible.
See, and
Love it.
and like for me, I would never own an OLED personally, because I leave my shit on all the time, and
Mm,
I do not want that burn in to happen.
yeah.
Basically, like OLED is the modern plasma TV, because plasma screen TVs back in the day were phenomenal, but the burn in that they had from keeping the still image on for too long for certain items was fucked up. Like you basically ruined your TV by creating that burn in. OLED monitors still create that, but if you're well about it and you know how to maintain like prevent and maintain your monitor as well as possible,
Yeah.
um you're totally fine. But for me personally, I can't. Like I leave my computer on all the fucking time.
I
Like I
don't, man.
I
I'm turning mine off. Like when we finish and I go to bed, my whole shit, all my shit's turned off. It's shut down and everything. And I took it in. I go to sleep. The PC, everything goes to sleep as well. I'm very much like that. But I know some people are like they turn off their machine once a month or something. It's crazy.
yeah. So like I mean it totally makes sense though. It just it like honestly my practice like and you know for those of you listening, my practices for maintaining like computer health don't follow me because I like literally I shouldn't be keeping this on all the time. Literally I shouldn't like I have a work laptop. I should be shutting it off every now and then just so that it can like properly breathe and like like you know
Yeah.
reset itself once in a while, up like do proper updates and whatnot. And I just don't.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something that I'm not really like a big fan of.
I'll say my MacBook Pro, I never shut it down. And like the batteries on them are just incredible, and they're just kind of designed to be like that. I think you just always close the lid and it just always stays on. Because
Mhm.
like if I was to fully charge this and close the lid, the battery would last like a month or something. Like it'd be crazy. Like the battery like will just stay on forever. Like it's crazy. Like I'll have it on like all the time, and I might charge it maybe twice a week or something. Like it's crazy. Like they're so impressive, like hardware wise. Say what you want about Apple, if you don't like the OSs and stuff, that's one thing, but can't be denied their hardware is incredible. And yeah, it's just I'll just flip the lid down. Next day I come back, just open it up, boom, just continue where I left off. Like it's just so rare I turn the thing off.
I mean, they wouldn't be a beloved company if they had shit batteries, right?
Well, their phones are a different story. I'm just talking
I
about
mean,
the laptops.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I was never really a fan of Apple products or Mac. Like, I'm not saying that I'm like, oh, now I'm a fan. It's just more so that I appreciate what they do,
Mm,
especially for work. Like, they're very much work oriented equipment.
yeah.
It's very easy to set up your stuff on Mac, like especially if you're doing a lot of um, coding or like you know getting into different hosts, you know, different virtual machines and trying to get into different infrastructures from different teams and whatnot. Like it's you know when you have a Windows computer, you have to like download Git, you have to download all these different things that basically have like Linux built into the program, whereas like Mac is just it's just naturally like it's got Linux built into it.
It's built on
It's
Linux, yeah.
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 The only thing that sucks is that if you're using Mac and your team uses Windows to do
Bro.
like
That was what I was
communications,
this is what I was
it's
gonna
like
say. So I love Mac for like I do all my video editing and everything on Mac. And like that's why I use my Mac. But like and I love it on a personal level, but I'm the opposite. Like in work, they're a nightmare because most companies are Windows infrastructure. So like, you know, someone comes in with a Mac and it's like, hey, I need to print. And it's like, oh, I have to go down and like get a separate driver and do a whole different thing. I have to like set
yeah.
up its own separate like safe print queues and all this sort of stuff. Like so trying to get them and then like, you know, trying to get like it connected to like a Windows Active Directory and stuff, it's a nightmare.
I,
But they
I
look
I
great.
don't know if Apple has their own type of Microsoft products, you know, like for Office or Outlook or stuff
They
like
do,
that.
yeah. Yeah.
Why aren't we using that? Like, just why aren't we just doing that across the board? Because a lot of the people that like from my company, they use Mac products. So
Hmm.
like, but we're still using Microsoft Office, you know, software, which is abysmal. It's
Yeah.
like you try to run Excel, all of a sudden the laptop's overheating.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just it's you know people don't like change. You know, someone's coming from they've been using a Dell laptop for 20 years in work, and it's like, where's my Outlook? You know, you get a MacBook, and it's like, where's Outlook? And it's like, oh well, you have Mail now instead. It's like, no, I want Outlook, and then you know it's like use Keynote now for your presentations. No, I want PowerPoint. You know, it's that's what it is like. But like the window or the Mac apps, they allow you to save in like the .docs or docx format so that you can view it on Windows. And same with like PowerPoint, you can save it in the PowerPoint presentation, so all the files will at least talk to each other and stuff. So like that's fine. Like, but yeah, just don't. People are just indoctrinated into Microsoft, I think, for the most part, and they just don't want to move
Right.
away from it. Is what it
Well, I
is,
mean,
you know.
and to be completely honest, I do really like, you know, Office's different array of programs that are already available. It's already like super matured. I don't know how mature like Apple's you know, products are. But like I can totally, you know, vouch for that and say like, okay, well that makes sense to me. I totally like, you know, Microsoft's different programs, but they're so, I would say there's such big juggernauts on like Office products
Yeah.
that it's hard to get away from that.
Absolutely. And
And
now I think Apple are starting to do that with like I'm noticing a lot because again, like the company that I work for, we like sell IT as a service. So like we have like, hundreds of clients and most of our clients are now like, Dell for their laptops, but Apple for their phones. So like,
mhm.
and that's kind of seems to be the way it's going. And now like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I only want an Apple phone. I don't want an Android. And, you know, or some people come in and it's like, oh, I've only ever used Android. I need help learn to use a Mac or an Apple. Like, that's like, mate, just honestly sit with the phone for 20 minutes and you'll know how to use it. It's so simple. Like, you know, um, Google Docs for the win.
Fuck yeah.
I've never really messed around with them too much myself. Like I've done it a little bit on a personal level, but any like client that I ever work with, it's always 365. So I've never really had a chance to kind of
D-
onboard
d-
a client that uses Google only.
Dude, like it sucks. Like for company wise, 365 is probably a really good product to use, but like consumer wise, don't ever buy
Oh no. It's
365.
so funny, man. I only had this conversation today. I was only having this conversation today with a person. So one of my clients, they have a bunch of people retiring, and one of the guys comes in like, I want to set up my own email address and stuff. Like, what do I do? Like, this guy's been working for the same company for fucking 30 years. Like, so email didn't even exist when he first started in the place. So like, he's like never had another email address, just his work one. So he's like, what do I do at all? Like, and I'm trying to talk to him about like Google and Google Drive and instead of OneDrive and all this sort of stuff. And he's like, oh no, I only want to use Outlook and all. I'm just like, for fuck's sake, like that's how indoctrinated these people are. It's like, get a Gmail address, like, you know what I mean? It's simple, it's free. The user interface is fucking great. Like it's so simple, but it's like, oh no, I have to have an Outlook, I have to have Microsoft, blah blah blah. And I'm like, as a consumer, you have to pay a monthly subscription to use like Outlook and Word and all this stuff. I said it's criminal. Like they shouldn't be allowed to do it. Like back when I used to sell computers for a living, like back when I was just out of school, do you remember when you used to be able to sell like the disc with like,
Yeah.
Microsoft Office on it? Like you can't do that anymore. It's all subscription based. So like you're constantly paying for it on a monthly basis, or you could choose to pay for it on a yearly basis. But like it's shocking when you think about it. Shocking.
Well,
But they get
and
away with it.
yeah, they do. And I correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear that they still come out with different versions, but the fact that they don't update it regularly, they recommend using 365. They're like, "Oh, well, we have
Mm,
regular updates on the fly. Like, every month we'll
yeah.
do updates, or every year like, you resubscribe, you'll always be up to date with your products."
Yeah.
Whereas like you can still kind of go on to Amazon or any other sites and it's be like, just give me fucking Microsoft Office 2019. I don't give a shit. Like
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
it's you buy the key once, you got it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. It's just like, are they gonna like switch it off? Like that's the thing you'd worry about if you were
Yeah,
buying
that's
something like that. Like, because they
well,
they will at some point.
I mean, like the products itself, like you're just buying the version.
Yeah.
So the only thing is that it would just be like a deprecated version or something that just doesn't have like the newfangled items
Yeah.
that they would
But you
have
know,
in the
you,
new
you know,
versions.
you know they'll like switch off because I know they do this with like Teams and stuff. Like I was using like the classic version of Teams for as long as physically possible because the new one is shite, and then they switch it off and the classic just is not available anymore. And like if you were using like the 2019 version of Outlook, for example, the desktop application, I'm sure there's probably a point where they're going to just say you have to switch to the new one now if you want to keep using this because it's not supported anymore. We won't allow people to use it. Like that is
Mhm.
happening. So it's just shit, especially if you're paying a big lump sum at the start, like whatever it is, $200 for the license or whatever. And then, in a couple of years, it's just not going to be supported anymore. Yes, Word and Outlook and Excel and stuff will probably work. But like if you want to use any of the stuff that's actually like online, like connecting into a mailbox and stuff, it's not going to work as
That's
far as I know.
true. And then like at that point, I just try to use the web browser because I think the web browser
Oh
might
man,
still allow you to do it for free.
bro, I've been trying to get people to move to the web for years, and again, it's the same thing. I want desktop version. That's the one I'm used to, and it's like the web one is there. You can access it from anywhere. You can be on holidays. And you can check your emails if you want on your phone. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't need to have your laptop anywhere like anymore. Like And like so many of these people like just won't move over. Do you know what I mean? And then like even like OneDrive, I'm trying to tell people about using like online storage and stuff, and it backs up all your stuff automatically. It's the best thing in the world. It's great. And then everyone's like, yeah, but how do I like get my folders and like when you open up your like file explorer and like your folders are there? I'm just like, yeah, but you just go to the web now or whatever, like, or you just click on the OneDrive icon. They're like, oh no, I need to have it in my Finder now. So now you have to like go onto the online, sync everything down, and so it appears in Finder for them and stuff. I'm just like, bro,
Well,
this is archaic, like,
well, and companies are really trying to move away from that. Like
I know.
they've been they're cracking down on people like who hold passwords in their fucking notepad.
Oh yeah, yeah, big time. But yeah, look, I know we've been rambling about IT or tech for a while there, so I'm sure some people are like, "Ah, here, what the fuck are these guys talking about?"
Here we go again.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pump the brakes. I said we're at an hour and a half. That's usually about as long as we stay live every week. Just want to give a massive shout out before we head off to anybody who's subscribed to the channel in the last couple of weeks. Like we've had nearly 100 new subscribers, which the channel's tiny, so the channel's grown by like 25% in the last couple of weeks. So massive thank you to anybody who's new to the channel, who's here, and anyone who's just subscribing tonight. Thank you so much if you're checking us out on this new vertical thing. Massive thank you. Leave us a comment if you're listening to us on a replay as well. Like I'd love to kind of chat to some people that listen to us when it's not live. You know what I mean? Dan's here. It's like, yeah, all about our Griff says he's all about the tech talk. And the only reason why I'm pumping the brakes on this is because I could stay here all night talking about this shit, and I don't want to because I do it for a living. So this is my time, bro. I don't want to talk about 365 and all this stupid shit. Dan says he's new here. This is a lie. Don't listen to him. We'll be back next week, guys. We're going to be talking about Stranger Things. We're going to be talking about a little more Derry because we're all caught up now. So, and any other nerdy news in between. So, massive thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.
Have a good one.